And just like that, we are back here with a Saturday shit. And today is the season finale. But guess what? Save the best for the last. Because today we're going to have some amazing celebrities. That's how I'll actually call you guys, right? I mean, we ain't Ghana, so why not? Are you guys ready for today?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. This is like a full second moment. You guys don't know, but we know why. Reynolds the Gentleman, what's up?
I'm good, bro.
For the first time on Saturday shit.
This is, yes, indeed, my first.
Well, welcome, and I'm excited to have this conversation. And let's welcome my one and only uncle, my celebrity uncle, right? I know, right? Harold.
It's good to be here.
And welcome here for the first time, the princess of the airways, Naa Ashorkor Mensah.
Hi, Kabutey.
We hail you. Hey.
I take them.
Hey. Are you guys ready for today's conversation?
Yes.
Because I know you guys have a lot of experience in this industry.
Bring it on.
Right, so the topic is business and creativity in Ghana, right? As a creative, sometimes, it's not easy to make money. And even when you make money, how do you stay in the business for like the longevity of it? Versus like, maybe I just popular for like maybe 1 year, 2 years. And maybe once it's done, Charlie, stick on son. She can't that. So how do you stay within that, spectrum of just making sure you still have, some money or some kind of like relevancy without having to do certain things to stay relevant?
Certain things.
What certain things means?
Kim K, let me just put it like that. We know how the Kardashian clan, stays relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Kris Jenner works overtime, okay?
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
We're all looking at you.
So, if I get your question right,
Yeah.
How we can make money?
Or let me put it this way: is there business in being a creative?
Obviously, there's a lot of money in being a creative.
Okay.
It's all about how you position yourself. In this part of the world, we don't earn, because we have a very poor tracking system, and we just don't have a very.
Okay.
Or is this going to be played in the States? So it's not relevant to what I'm saying, right?
No, it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So in Ghana, we don't have an effective tracking system. Okay, so it's so hard for people to be paid residually, even for musicians who are supposed to be paid residual income on their products that are played on radio and stuff like that. They still are not able to track. So people are always complaining of receiving some very tiny, residuals on their music. Not to talk of royalties there, because that's the word I was looking for. But as for actors, in this part of the world, we don't have anything like that, because I don't remember the last time or the first time anybody signed a contract where they have royalties being paid to them, as the movie shows. Okay, so it's difficult, but it's also very, very, very possible for people to make money off being a creative. It's like I say, so in this part of the world, once again, the money really comes, so it's about building an image and making money off it in other ways. What do I mean by other ways? Obviously, advertising for brands, being a voice in different spheres.
So brand influencing.
Brand influencing, as we call it now.
But I will just wait for you. Have something else.
It used to be brand modeling or brand advertising.
But
there you go. So, and being a voice and all the stuff that come with it. So there are different ways that you can make money, but you just have to build that image first. The product itself or whatever might launch you into fame might not be the thing that will bring you the fortune. But if you are smart enough and you position yourself well, you stand a chance of making money residually in other ways.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said something about image, right? You
Yes.
don't know Naa Ashorkor. She's kept an image. I mean, we want to be like when we grow up.
Very much so.
Compared to other people.
Right.
So now how do you keep an image?
Gosh. Well, thank you, Kabutey. I don't have an intelligent answer to that question.
Okay.
However, I know that setting out to keep an image it's probably not the way to go.
Okay.
But setting out to be original might be the way. No, we're all different, Kabutey. You earlier made an example, a reference to Kim Kardashian. And in our part of the world, we might look at Kim and think all sorts of things. But you've got to give it to her for the consistency.
Yeah.
It's important for us to know who we are and be consistent. It's important for us to stay original and stay consistent. I would say that works. Okay. So in many brand classes or in many brand lessons, you'll be told that no brand is a bad brand as long as you know what your brand promise is and you stick to it.
Wow.
So you must know what your brand promise
Yes.
is, and then you stick to it. So if you decide that I am the person who does whatever, stay original. You find the brands that need that to sell.
And they'll follow you.
There are many brands that would not sign me because I don't have my brand promise and their brand promise. Does not work. It doesn't.
And it's business, so hey.
It's business.
Yeah.
And there are other people who would jump onto the other brands who would jump onto some people who you think, oh, what's she all about? Because what they're trying to sell kind of works with that brand. There's disruptive advertising. There is negative advertising even.
That's a lesson, yeah.
And so it's just, we're all different, okay? There are some things I could not do to save my life. I just can't.
Just like the way you work out. I can't be in the gym more than 5 times in a week.
There's some things I just can't do.
Yeah.
And there are other people too who could never be me. Truth is, none of us can be anyone. You can copy someone, but then you just be a copy. And who wants to come for the copy when there's the original?
Good. But I have a question. You said a copyright. So, people talk about like, people copy their stuff. So I'm like, what if you copy someone's work, right? Or what do you do and put like your own twist in it?
But I mean, life is all about learning from people.
Okay.
I mean, we are all a total of our experiences, like a sum total of our experiences and things we've seen and things we've heard and things we've learned from other people.
Okay.
So definitely, as you go, you pick up, lessons and things from other people here and there. But if you set out to model your life or your career after another person, then you'll be a duplicate and you most likely fall flat.
You falling flat. Reynolds, how talk about music, right? So being an artist and like a musician, put it that way, do you get residuals? Or if not, how do you make your money? Don't put your business out though, money-wise, but you want to know how,
I'm just going to say it as it is. So,
Oh.
As an artist in Ghana, I'm not really making what I should be making, right? But I think it's also a number of things. In Ghana, we like to base it off like how relevant you are. I think it's everywhere, but in Ghana, there's a certain
like seniority okay.
Like you just need to be who is hot, and then they'll pay you all the money. You understand? And that's how come you go for shows like 10 shows during December in Ghana, and it's the same people. You understand? It's the same people because they are not willing to go off the fact that this person is good, this person is great, is whose song are they playing.
But I have a question about that. If you're actually going, like, for example, they can actually use up-and-coming artists to open those concerts, right? So it's not like you're going in, listening to the same people from the 23rd to the 24th, all the way to the 31st.
Trust me, if you've ever been an upcoming artist in Ghana, you understand what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really do much for you because they don't value you. They don't. Like how they would treat an artist who is
well known, okay.
It's not how they would treat you. And for someone like me, I'm always going to use myself as an example because I know me more than every other artist, right? So say someone like me is called up to be an opener for a show. The kind of things I would request to give a great show, I may not be allowed them just because of who I am. Do you understand? Who are you to come and tell me this and this is what you need? This is what we have. Just come and pass through. That's what we like to see. Just come and pass through. So personally, I don't think making money as an artist is that great. So me, I had to add other things. I had to teach at a certain point. I had to become a producer. I didn't want to be a producer, but I became a producer because I couldn't pay for productions. And then I remembered, okay, you know how to play keyboard. I'm not going to mention the producer I went to that was charging me 7 million. I'm saying 7 million, not 700 cedis, because it's a very long time ago. But that's when that's when I was like, okay. Yeah, and then I became a producer. But now I understand him because if I'm also charging people,
you have to. Okay.
Yeah, I have to.
So, do we have any unions in Ghana, right, for like artists, like for music, acting, like all those different buckets? Do we have like unions for that?
Yeah, there are unions.
There are unions.
Are you asking?
But do they function?
That's what I was going to ask
Yeah,
you.
if they function. There are unions.
There are unions, but The question is whether they've been empowered enough to be able to handle issues or solve the issues that we face. You know, the unions exist, but it just ends there.
It just ends there. That just makes me think. So since you guys have influence, right? Have you tried to see how you can pull in your other colleagues to see if let's revive and let's make this an active union? Because we all know Nigeria, for example, they are very huge when it comes to creativity, right? And they're making money in Nigeria and international. How do you think we can actually do that to help? I mean, I know it's not going to happen overnight, but where do you think would be the easiest way to start doing that?
It starts from individuals.
Okay.
I mean, it starts from individuals. When it comes to doing things in unison, there has to be the willingness on everybody's part. Okay, if someone is not willing to participate in something, you can't force them, right? So, I think that when it comes to pushing an agenda, it starts with the individual. So, for instance, if myself or Naa Ashorkor wants to push an agenda, then we might resort to our platforms that we have available to sort of push it, because at the union level, trust me, participation is another thing. I am part of a Screen Actors Guild group.
Okay.
All they do is to contribute for funerals, outdoorings, and weddings. We're constantly being called upon to contribute for these things, and sometimes I question.
But you guys, do they call you guys have a monthly meeting?
They do, but we go there and then what is item 13? That's all people are fighting for,
That's food and refreshments,
for item 13. So then it defeats the whole purpose. So it's very tricky, and sometimes you wonder what the use of these unions are really.
So since the three of you have your individual brands, right? And I think this is a part a lot of people don't talk about. How important is it to develop a team, right? Because you need your attorneys, you need your managers, you need assistants, you need agents, you need people on the team that can help you be who you are, because you can't do it all by yourself.
That's facts.
In the beginning, it's difficult to have a team. You have to call on your friends, really. And most people start out really young. And so if you're 19, of course, your friends aren't lawyers yet. Your friends aren't anything yet. Just a bunch of you who don't know what you're doing, trying to figure it out. I mean, when Harold and I were on TV together for the first time, the first time I was on TV was with Harold at TV Africa in 2008.
Okay.
I was, 17 or 18? We were about 17, right? Or 18.
My favorite number.
I just finished. We just finished
high school.
Yeah,
okay.
and we had just started uni. I was at GIG, I think, second year. Of course, I mean, and it was on that show that I got my first show. So I started TV work after that first appearance on TV Africa. Of course, at that point, I didn't know anybody. I was paid 300 cedis a month. I was too happy with it. And I knew nothing about anything else. I mean, I went with the styling the station provided. I went with everything the station provided. and it was too good for me. I was too happy.
You couldn't believe the dream you were living.
Yes, I was too happy, to have that. It's taken me a very long time to have a full team.
Okay.
And if most people in the industry will be honest, that's how it starts. You call on your friends to give you clothes. In fact, when I started going to Pistis for clothes, Pistis had also just started out. So they were tailoring on the porch, on the Adjovu Ghana Road, just the front porch with two machines, and I would go and sit outside and wait for 3 hours in the middle of the night. They'll make my dress. I'll go and try it on inside her boyfriend's bedroom, and then the parents will be in the living room watching TV. Or
you're like, what is happening?
You see me, how we do it in Ghana, just like a mouse.
Yeah.
And then go try it on. So many years later, I mean, she's built a fashion house.
Yes.
And I have also kind of built a brand. So now we're all coming up together.
Yeah.
Which is same with my makeup artist, my everybody, my director, my creative strategist. We all sort of came up together, and I think that's how
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Yeah. I know elsewhere, once you become a hot shot, you go for the big brands and then you or whatever. Even in Ghana, I see people do that. Young creatives come up and then immediately they want clothes from this person and they want this from that person.
When did I get here?
It's unless you have very good funding.
Yeah.
It's can be unnecessary pressure on yourself. Because if these brands don't want to associate, then you feel like, oh, they only want to dress these people. But you don't know the story.
Yeah, the story. I was about to say, I'm like, you don't know the story, African.
You don't
know. You have to wait to get the story.
You don't know the story. Exactly. So, with regards to the team, I believe in growing together.
Okay.
I strongly believe in growing together. And when you grow together with brands, the probability that you have a falling out or not get along or have all these problems that people have with it, this one did this and this it's relatively low. Because I would never tell Pistis I'm going for VGMA, make me this kind of dress. No. All I have to say is I'm going for VGMA.
Yeah, they know your style already.
And they get it.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even have to ask it. She would put it together with the shoes and the hair and everything.
There you go.
And say, nah, this, what
you
we
have no say.
And I actually have no say, and I'm too happy to have her take those decisions for me. You get it? So I believe in growing your team, like growing with your team. You know where you're headed, so have the right friends and the right people.
In the US, some companies will actually have to sort you out.
Yeah.
They don't just sign you. Other companies, if I'm part of it, I have to refer you. You can't just join. So I don't know. Sometimes you see this news online, like, oh, finally some such and such has been assigned to this. And you're like, oh wow, finally, because it's not that easy to get into them. Right. So of course in the US it's big money, so they don't play those things at all. I remember one time someone we worked with, the outfit she wore to an award show was $20,000. I'm like, can I have at least and I mean that's just the dress, right? So just imagine hair, makeup, and all those things that come in. Your assist, it's a lot. I mean, obviously because of social media now, everything has to be documented, every step of the way, So like I said, if you're not at that level and you need an outfit and you want to go for a big brand, they'll look at you when do you start? Even the big people are still...
I mean, if you have a bankroll, if you have the money,
the money,
you can afford it, why not?
Yeah, if you can afford it, why not? But, when you talk of the team, you often aren't referring to take money and go and,
do one way. It has to be a collective.
Usually, it's everybody.
Yeah.
And that can be expensive. And in this country, majority of people in the arts don't make that kind of money. Okay, some do, and we are all hoping to get there. But right now, we sort of all just try. We kind of all just try. So if you have the money, by all means, I mean, hire.
Yeah, I like the way you guys say we just try, right? Because I think some people have probably given this perception that the life they live, it's what you see. You're like, okay, we know you too well to know that you don't live this life. So how are you funding this? And I think it also gives those young TikTokers stuff oh Charlie, this is making money. I think I can make it. To no, slow down. Get a team.
Okay, so to address that, I think life begets art begets life, right? So when it comes to creating a certain image online or whatever, I think it's that's what life is really about. People are moved by what they see. I'm not saying you should go break your bank or steal from someone or borrow or get yourself in debt, but making things look a certain way in hopes for getting to a place, it's okay, because once again, life begets art begets life. So whatever you envisage or whatever you dream about.
That's a really fancy statement.
Yes.
What does it mean?
So life is art. Let me give you an example. So you could walk into, I'm sure you've had this experience. You could walk into a place, same as Naa Ashorkor, looking maybe just in your what's the perfect example? Maybe you wearing a home outfit, okay? Maybe in your flip-flops, and go stand by wear a cap, okay? You won't get the same attention as the attention you would get if you were looking, for instance, like this, and you were standing at the same spot.
Okay.
So life begets art. So people are moved by what they see. You will be the same person standing there, but just because of the way you presented yourself, the attention level would be different.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's okay for you to want to portray a certain image in hopes of getting to a place one day. But once again, it shouldn't break your back. You shouldn't borrow to do that. I've never done that. I never moved out of my parents' house until last 2 months. So no pressure, but always because there was no need. Okay, there was no need to do that. I had free accommodation. Why do I move? So
Listen.
never do that. Even though I had
you want to
every
trade
reason
places
to.
with me in the US.
even though so people would say, how come you live in your parents' house? I'm like, because I'm the only boy and there's a lot of accommodation for me. So people put unnecessary pressures on themselves based on what society expects them to be. You know, don't hurt yourself in
Don't break your bank,
looking a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, I mean, it depends on what you want people to say about you. Or I'm not even sure if that's that necessary, but it depends on the image you want to put out. You don't have to wear what another person is wearing. You understand? Somebody like One Love the Kubolo.
They couldn't even wear clothes.
That's what I'm saying, but that could be like a plan. I don't want to spend too much. Let me just go with this brand. You understand? So whatever you put on yourself is your own thing. You don't have to look at the next person and say, oh, this person was dressed by so and so, so I have to work my way to that point.
It doesn't work like that. See, I think there's one thing a lot of people always miss. I mean, like everyday life, right? It's when it comes like, signing contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I think I know this answer, but I'm still gonna ask. Do you all have, or do you guys have like contracts when you first started? And did you read it to understand? Or
When we first started.
Yeah.
Well, because I started at a television station where there was HR.
Okay.
You know.
Of course. Okay.
And my journey has sort of been like that. So I left TV Africa to Chapter House, to GH1.
And you did law too at some point.
So yes.
So okay.
So yeah. So I was introduced to contracts early, and so I always knew that I had to have an engagement contract for every gig that I did. And the thing is, sometimes in these parts there are no contracts.
Okay.
But what I often tell people, because I mean,
that's the truth.
A contract does not necessarily mean a 9-page document or a 25-page document. A very quick email to say, oh, so if they don't send you a contract, you can just send an email to say, oh, well, thank you for calling on me to MC this event on 29th November at 5 p.m. 5,000 cedis works like we agreed. Thank you. Just respond to say, I got the information right.
And it's timestamp, so you can,
And they reply and say, yes, all correct, whatever. That could suffice as a binding agreement.
It always does.
Yes. So sometimes I know how people are when you say, please send me a contract.
Yeah.
They begin to feel like you are calling all of your lawyers, you're about to come sue them for something. I don't know why
so this is I use MOU or agreement.
Sometimes, I mean, the number of screenshots I have, I would just, people even shake when they hear you send them an email. So I'll just send you a WhatsApp message and I'll just detail everything we said and just confirm I have the information right.
Yeah.
Confirm.
That's all.
Screenshots, email it to myself, and that could really suffice. But contracts are important.
To buttress what Naa just said, we would love for these things to happen or these things to be in force, right? But unfortunately, the gatekeepers here they are not interested in that.
Like someone who I just spoke to, because I was like, I'm like, what if I come to Ghana and kind of like stay for like a year and make sure they're like, please stop wasting your time? Like, you agree?
But Harold, this generation is different.
This generation of
creatives, we understand the importance of contracts.
Yeah, but the gatekeepers, I'm talking. So, for instance, of course, when it comes to movies, the movie producers, event promoters in terms of music, they are the ones who are supposed to be pushing this agenda. They are the ones who are supposed to be encouraging.
That's why I wanted to come and push like, Charlie, let's do this together.
But they shy away from it. That's
so it starts with you. It really starts with you and I. And I think we are doing it. It really starts with
we're talking about the general landscape.
Yes. But it starts somewhere. It really starts with us. I called a young musician to compose a song for something I'm doing, right? And he did. And then I said, oh, I'm just sending you a contract. It's actually to protect your own.
What did he say?
He said, okay, it's been long.
He panicked.
He just doesn't want to sign. He's not signing.
I think it's just because.
That's what I'm saying. So that's an example of a gatekeeper shying away.
No, this is a young person. This is a young person who has just started out.
And he's shying away from signing a contract.
I don't know what
he's heard.
I don't
or
know what
maybe
he thinks.
Yeah.
So I sent him a long voice note to explain to him that, okay, even though I'm paying you to do this song, you actually still have moral rights in the song. It is your song. I may have economic rights over the song, but you have moral rights over the song. It's your song. If the song ends up on give me some
BET, MTV, International,
it's your name has to be there.
Because people come to you.
Because people will come to you. But you are not signing this contract. And anything can happen along the line. I will not live forever. This song is in the system. If I'm not here and someone just picks the song and uses it and blows, you have no claim. You have no claim over it. So I had to send this long message explaining to him that you need to sign, because then you have a legal document which shows that this is, because the conversation you and I had was between us, no one else knows. However, a contract is proof to the world. Then he sends another message saying he understands and okay, you come and sign, but it's 2 weeks and he hasn't. So I get to how even though
let me reframe what I meant by my statement. So the gatekeepers, what I meant by gatekeepers is, for instance, the people that employ you, the people that give you the gigs. So recently I referred a friend for a role. And then, so this friend, so I referred him for a role, and then the producer was trying to reach out. Immediately reach out saying, oh, the best person to talk to is my manager. So by the way, this is my manager's contact. Then immediately the producer goes cold. Then comes to message me and says, oh, but Charlie, your guy get manager. I said, and so, Subway. Then he replies and says, Subway. And this is somebody that I have so much respect for, who I expected to know better. You know, just because this actor friend of mine has a manager, he grew cold. So that's what I meant by gatekeeper. So the people that are supposed to know better and do better are actually shying away from doing these things.
If you don't believe this, I have stories.
I believe
it happens all the time.
But I also believe that because of our situation, you have to really take your time.
And
like
massage
me,
them, man.
I won't say my manager will call you. I will just get my manager to call you. It's different.
You will jump the gun.
When you say call my manager, people freeze. They don't have to, but they do. So I would just have my girl call you, and they don't call and say, "Oh, I'm Naa's manager." She just call and say, "Oh, Naa told me about this. I'm taking care of her business."
So that's
like,
PR.
Okay,
that's
you know. So I'm not even going to say, take my manager's number.
The approach.
Yeah. So
the
and
delivery
she's
of all
really
of it.
But should it be so though, Naa?
I mean, what I'm saying is, it starts somewhere. Because you are going to sit down all year round and not have one single gig
because you have a manager.
Yeah, your manager is in a suit. It doesn't have to be like that, but that is how it is.
It works. Okay.
So you have to, you sort of have to make it work.
Very painful.
And when they finally meet, they
forget how they
they forget the whole thing, and then I realized, well, it's working for me.
For you, okay.
On the music side, what I started doing was I talked to the people the first 2 times or something. I'll be like, oh, because I'm going to be
rehearsing or doing something. Yeah.
I just need you to finish up with George, something like that.
Leave it like,
and it's been working. But some people, once it moves to another person, and
I'm telling you, so it's actually good. I think it's actually good to start.
Maybe it's just like I was saying in the beginning. It's just who they value you to be. Like they won't do it to another artist who they value or something. It's just facts. It's just facts.
But whilst you guys are like breathing, right? I have a question. Do you think if we start doing like forums and kind of like educating people?
No.
They already know.
Oh. I try.
They already know. They know better but fail to do better.
But again, people, I think human beings generally don't like sudden change. Once you try to introduce something which is different from the status quo, they begin to wonder, what's I? So, in the past, musicians themselves, and please, I stand to be corrected, artists themselves will go looking for, like, and it was a very small industry then. So, people are just used to dealing with you.
One-on-one.
Now we are beginning to understand, especially in music, that you have a manager. But the other aspects or the other areas of the creative space, I don't think we sort of accept managers yet. I don't see why anyone should have a problem with a musician's manager or dealing with a musician's manager. And I'm surprised to hear that it's such a big
Yeah, I
deal
know, man.
now. Then I knew, but now everybody knows that a musician must have a manager.
Yes.
And
But
if
they
you don't want to
cheat
deal with
you.
your manager, they want to cheat you.
That's all.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's
If they don't want to deal with your manager,
Yeah.
it will see that they want to cheat you.
Musicians are a bit luckier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you call an actor and they tell you to talk to their manager,
That ends it.
it's new.
That
It
ends it.
didn't used to be the case.
Mm.
It's new. And so to introduce change, you must introduce it slowly. You don't just say, call my
Baby
manager.
steps.
Yeah, baby steps. I think, there are ways. And the more your manager is like you, the better.
Mm.
Because people are used to a certain vibe from you.
Yes.
And then your manager comes and they are typing in
All
capital
business and
and
it's
they are
like,
being all businessy.
it's like,
I,
hey.
it shouldn't scare you if you are here to do genuine business with me,
Yeah,
but it does.
it does.
And so I think we just need to learn people management
That's a
and
good one.
just figure it out. Eventually, I mean, if my, I don't really like to call her my manager, but if my manager is talking to you, you think you're talking to me.
Mm.
She's, and so
Did you train her to talk like you?
no.
Or it's a coincidence?
Again, the thing about building a team from the start
From
is
scratch.
we've been together for so long.
So you know when, you
She
feel
knows
like
what I would
start-
accept and what I will not accept, what I will do and what I will not do. She just gets it.
So I have a question though. So for you guys, you built your own brand. You're doing what you're doing already. What advice do you give to people in the industry already, or people who are still like up and coming, having to like navigate through finding a team and all these things that comes your way?
I'd say focus more on the art. Focus more on the art and be serious with the business. Even if you don't want to be like the face of the business aspect of your job, know about it. Like personally, I really hated anything documents, anything money. I didn't want to know, but I got to a point in my career where I came to understand that it's very, very important. Even if you're not like the main person, you need to be a part of it. So focus more on the art. Be good at what you do so that
You can't be ignored.
Yeah, and the money too, because sometimes your team itself will actually spend the money for you.
Hey, there's that.
There's that. Alright.
Okay, so I'm going to borrow from both of my colleagues here. So you need to, first of all, like Naa said earlier, you need to be true to yourself. You need to be original. And then in staying original, because you see, you can't copy somebody better than themselves, than they. All right. So you have to stay true to yourself, because the best person who can do you is you. And you also have to take yourself seriously. I know no matter what we say, it's going to play out differently for different people or most people. But the yardsticks still remain the same. So be true to yourself. Okay, take yourself seriously, because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to look down on you or talk you down. In the beginning, it's going to be like that. People are going to think you're not worth the things you're asking for or whatever. But you still need to believe in yourself. Rejection is real. In the beginning, you're going to suffer a lot of rejection. You have to stay true to yourself and also be consistent. Consistency matters. Listen, I feel consistency beats talent. Most of the people I started with who are famous now is just because they kept going. Those who fell by the roadside because they fell by the roadside, and they are nowhere to be found now. So consistency is key. When you do something repeatedly, in the end, the universe gives you whatever you want. So these are about my little pieces of advice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll stick with originality.
Okay.
Just be original, because I think brands like original. If you're just like somebody else, they would rather go for that somebody else than come for you. But more importantly, for yourself, even outside of the arts, staying true to yourself, staying consistent, being original will take you places where motivation and talent will take you. Yeah. So stay consistent and be original. Believe in your art. Believe in yourself and work on it. All the other things will come. The other things, they will
the
come.
fame.
Yeah.
The IG followers.
Yeah.
The
The other
likes.
things
Yeah.
will come. But focus on the art. Do the work. And be consistent and original. Everything else will fall in line.
Despite all the odds, because the odds are going to come.
They are.
Oh.
Like that's the part a lot of people don't talk about, but it's
the
real,
odds are
okay?
yes.
I feel like I just went to like a Sunday service, you know.
We'll get there.
Wow. So on this show, right, since it's also the season finale, we have this game we play called the Shady Corner, right? I'm gonna grab these little fans right here.
Games.
Oh, listen, I love some games. So this is what we're gonna do.
What's that?
So it's the Shady Corner, right? So you are going to pick which one it is, and if you do pick, you have to. It's like a chess fan, right?
That comes to mind.
So if you do pick, you have to explain why. But like I said, you have to pick a few times to make sure something makes sense.
What's this? I'll carry it home. What's this?
I think this is a very good question, though. I think somehow we've all done it. So it says, have you ever returned a gift you didn't like?
Oh, I've never done that. That's rude.
Who said it's rude?
I can't do that.
Hey, please.
I've never
do
done
that.
that.
I have, and most of the time when people give me a gift, I'm like, I had a gift receipt. Because if I don't like it, I can take it back to the store and return
I
it.
can't do that.
Well, I got like 6 blenders.
For your wedding?
Yes. I got like 6 blenders.
You return them to the people that gave them to you?
No, I didn't return them
You
to
re-gifted.
the people that gave them to me, but I told them that, oh, I got your blender, but I have 6. So do you mind if I give it to someone else?
Oh no, that's fine.
But
think
all,
that's
like
not
they were
bad.
all like people.
I mean, you're polite about yours. Me,
Yeah,
I'm scared.
there are people in my life.
That would probably be the one I take with so much
No,
joy.
I've never done
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
You don't
good.
return
the
the gift?
person doesn't
My
feel
mom,
bad.
so
Then I gifted
Oh, but I mean, they're all like in my family.
yeah.
You know, they're all
maybe that's
my
why.
people. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
my,
so-
my cousins and like guys, you all go to the same
What
shop.
if was somebody, what if it was somebody you really respect?
I will still gift it to someone else.
But you won't tell the person, right?
Probably not. If they are not like
Too close.
too
Yeah.
close, I probably wouldn't tell them.
There's a story to that for me. Growing up, I remember there was a time when we finished service and we're going home. One of my mom's friends bought popcorn for all of us. You know how usually when you finish Sunday school,
Sunday
you
school,
buy
the
some
popcorn,
pie
beef pie,
or
the
whatever.
ice cream, and all this stuff.
So it was popcorn on that day, and we all walked to the popcorn stand, and then she bought salt and
I
sugar.
knew it.
Okay.
So they gave me, so they gave me salt. So I had salt, and I rejected it. Once I tasted it was salt, I rejected. I gave it back to the woman, my mom's friend. I
Well,
said,
you
no, I
need
don't
to turn
do
your
so.
fan around.
What do you mean?
You said no, but it's
No, what you're saying.
what you're saying means you
Growing
have
up, well, ever since I became an adult,
No, it
never.
says, have you ever?
Right. So yeah, then my mom rebuked me for doing that. So she said no, I should keep it, and then she refused sugar for me.
I also feel like it's the culture. Like
It's
Ghanaian
cultural,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
why
what I like.
why would
Yeah.
you keep 6 blenders when like people don't have
Don't even have one.
No, but don't tell them. Don't tell the gifters.
That's it.
I unwrapped my wedding presents with my cousin. Like they were there. Like they were there.
So I was like, wait, you want to
I still wouldn't
So
tell.
it was
Take
like,
a go.
I still
and
wouldn't
then
tell.
someone says, "I'm in small." Like it wasn't.
It wasn't a problem.
It wasn't.
It wasn't a
If
yeah.
it wasn't a problem, then that's fine.
It wasn't that.
But I mean, ever since I came out, I've never done it.
So this is what I do these
I
days.
still maintain this.
Used to, okay, so I tell people, but I give me a gift card. It's fine. Let me buy what I want to buy.
Yeah. You know, in Ghana,
No,
they're
but
just
we don't.
introducing
Okay,
that.
we do.
They're now
have it.
introducing
Yeah,
that.
we
Shop
do.
and
I was going to
retail.
say we don't, but we do.
Retail malls have
But
started.
they don't do
introducing
that.
You won't
A
do
gift
what?
card?
Ask somebody for money instead of a gift.
Oh
No, gift card.
No.
Gift card instead of.
No, but in Ghana you
It's
can't
the
ask.
same.
You can't if they ask you what you want.
Yeah.
Because I had before someone asked me what to get me for my birthday, and they said they should get me a voucher from a spa, a particular spa.
Oh, no, that's
So
yeah.
then
That's
So they
different.
sent
But
me a
to
voucher.
just say-
and then
You know, don't give me this.
Oh, I have. I think.
No, but it's listen. For all the weddings I have been to in the last 2 years,
Now, yes, I've seen they put
What
it
has
as part
happened?
of
they have a
the.
list.
Yeah.
Like if you want to.
Or like
get
a
me
registry.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
registry.
Is it usually part of the invitation?
Yeah.
At what point does the
Some
list
people
come?
do that.
It's part of the invitation. Like it's
A registry.
I don't think they send it to everyone.
Yes.
Specific people.
They send. I
Yeah.
think they send it to specific people.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good thing though because.
Because for some people, your presence alone is okay for them.
Yeah,
Yes.
but most people nowadays will say reduce it to an envelope size. Reduce the
In
gift
America,
to an
you guys,
envelope size.
you guys don't share cash
say
amongst
this?
yourself like that. In the States, they don't.
No, we just do
No,
gift
I mean
registry.
in Ghana, you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen this. Reduce your gift to an envelope size.
Now,
That is very ambiguous.
yeah, that's equal
It means
to
give
like,
us money.
So
what the
if I
shop
put
for-
5 city inside, I'm using
Exactly.
Okay.
It's
No, but it's still very
okay,
ambiguous.
but because I mean, people don't bring gifts to weddings anymore. Do you know that?
No. It's too much.
I actually like that idea.
The gift table is constantly
always
empty.
Yeah.
And so they just tell you that you don't bring us a gift, but bring a fat envelope or bring an envelope, something.
Wow.
That's because I remember one of my aunties when she got married, like one of the rooms in the house was literally filled with like gifts.
They don't even use them.
And I'm like, no, do a registry.
Those appliances always go bad in the storerooms.
Me. Nowadays, before I gift you something, especially if it's a major event in your life, I will ask you what I can get you. Yesterday, I was talking to my friend on the phone. I was like, oh, what would you like for Christmas? Because I don't want to bring you, I don't think there's anything. I would rather you ask me, what would you like for your birthday? Than go and buy me something that I know I will not use. I appreciate the gesture, but if the purpose for giving gifts is to give someone something that they will cherish, then it'll be good to give them something they like.
Yeah.
So if you bring me,
all I'm saying is let the person.
Look, somebody brought me
telling
goats.
the person
Goats.
Live one.
No, like they went to the abattoir and they had a chop and brought me goat. This would be a wonderful gift, but I don't eat meat.
Oh. Yeah.
And nobody in my house eats meat. So now I was just looking at this goat like. And
But
goat
you
is
can do a party.
expensive.
You can do a barbecue.
very expensive.
So I re-gifted
Goat is
the goat.
expensive. No,
Goat
you
is
could have done a
expensive.
barbecue.
I mean, the person went out of their way to get me the goat. But, you know, it's nice to ask people what they want.
Yeah.
Because then you can get them something that they really appreciate.
And I think if you know them well, also if you know them that well, you wouldn't even have to ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you know them.
That's what I do, yeah. If I know, I
But
don't
if
ask.
you don't, I think we should normalize asking people what they want.
It's,
I agree.
Is it?
no,
So if I ask you, Harold, what can I get you for your birthday?
Oh, I'll willingly say I need $10,000.
Yeah, and if I can give you 100, then I'll be
yes. I mean, your taste is very high.
But to reject a gift too, like
No, not reject per se.
to say I don't need it.
No, not to say I don't need it, but you have brought me goat.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
gift.
so let's see. So this is my gift to you guys then.
I like it.
This is my gift to you guys then because
Shall we?
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us this season on Saturday Shade, the Gun edition. It's been exciting having you guys in here today. But guess what? Viewers at home, don't forget to join the conversation on Twitter, Kabutey, on Instagram, Saturday Shade, and on TikTok, Saturday Shade. Because guess what? Saturday Shade, it is all about the fun. You guys ready to toast to this?
Of course.
And big shout out to my whole team because you guys couldn't see them, but you know,
Hey
in the back. So thank you so much for making this one. We might be back for season 2 in a Ghana edition. So cheers to that. And
Cheers.
thank you guys so
Cheers,
much.
Nah. Cheers, man.
Body no be firewood or more. Hey, right.